ADP Jobs Data. That's our topic for today's Backstage Pass. Good morning, happy hump day, happy last day of the month. Today is August 31st and it is the last day of the month, so that means happy closing day. A lot of folks are closing on the day. The last day of the month is typically the busiest, so I want to celebrate all those closings that are happening out there today. So far this morning, stocks have opened up higher. Mortgage bonds opened up lower, but have since recovered and they're back to flat basically. Mortgage rates will probably be about the same as where they were yesterday. We'll talk more about that in just a minute, but first let's talk about the ADP Jobs Report. All right, ADP released their jobs report for the month of August, and this is interesting because ADP has taken a few months off to rework their methodology on how they do their jobs report. Originally, their jobs report was based on a lot of modeling of data. Now, what they've done is that they've instead of modeling, they're taking raw data from about 25 million employees, and so the idea is that this report and this data is going to be a little more accurate as opposed to simply modeling the data. So let's dive into it and see what this report said. The report showed that there were 132,000 job creations in August. Now that was down from 270,000 in July, and that was down from 380,000 in June. So clearly, the trend is a slowing job market. Now this report is independent of the BLS report that's going to be released on Friday. That report is forecast to show 300,000 job creations. Now the BLS jobs report uses a lot of modeling. The ADP report now does not use a lot of modeling, and so while this ADP report may be more accurate, it's probably not a good indicator of what the BLS job report is going to show. So we'll wait and see on Friday what that BLS jobs report data shows. Now, ADP also released some data about monthly or annual pay year over year, and this data is kind of interesting. It shows that people who stayed on their job, their annual pay increased by about 7.2%. So those folks that stayed on the job, they had an annual pay increase. But folks that left their job and started a new job, well, their annual pay increase was around 16%, maybe a little bit just a little bit higher than that. So it's kind of interesting. But what's really good to know is that while there's a lot of talk right now about affordability with higher interest rates and higher home prices, it's good to know that annual pay is increasing as well, and that should help a lot of folks who are looking to buy a home with the affordability issues that folks have been seeing. Now moving over into the mortgage application data, MBA released their mortgage application data for last week. This showed that purchase applications fell by 1.8% week over week. They're now down 23% year over year, and it might have something to do with the interest rates moving higher last week. Interest rates moved from about 5.65 to about 5.8% last week on the national average. So probably that had some effect on application data. Refinances, well, those are down as well. They were down about 8% week over week and down about 83% year over year. Now on to the bond market. Mortgage bonds, like we said, are flat today. The 10-year yield is flat as well, but the 10-year yield is at about 3.11%, just over that 3.10% ceiling that we were hoping it would stay under. Let's reset some of the technicals. So now that 3.10% is the floor for the 10-year yield, and the next ceiling is 3.25%. The reason why that's important is because a lot of folks are going to be looking at this BLS jobs report that comes out on Friday, and there's a lot of room on the 10-year yield to the upside. If this jobs report is close to what is forecast, well, we could see that 10-year yield moving up towards that 3.25% level, which would mean that we would see mortgage rates most likely be going up as well. But for now, it's holding at flat on today so far, and the mortgage bonds they're holding flat as well on the day over day change. What that means for mortgage rates is that yesterday the national average for a 30-year fixed mortgage came in at about 5.95%. That was flat from Monday. We're expecting that to stay flat into today, come in at about 5.95%. Now we'll see how mortgage bonds, if they do decide to digest this ADP data in any different way, we'll see if what they do and how that will affect rates today. We'll be sure to let you know. And again, on Friday we've got the BLS Jobs Report. That's going to have a lot of scrutiny. Tomorrow we do have ISM manufacturing data. That's an inflationary measure for the manufacturing sector. That report's going to be watched as well, but really all eyes are on the jobs report for Friday. But that's all the news that we have for today. Happy Hump Day. Again, happy closing day for all of those that are having closings today. Celebrate those closings. And remember, stay positive. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.